my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout.
Oh, that's good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Tierra, this is our second show since our big comeback. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I love how you're like, see, because as a dude, I guess I'd say you have one look, but look at you. You look fabulous.
Well,
your hair different.
Well, I'm trying to make it, switch it up a little bit.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you look fabulous.
Well, thank you so much.
And I saw you said a post the other day about your hair is getting thin. You doing something? What are you doing with your?
I am.
God, it looks amazing.
Well, it's so much thicker now, and it's growing out because it was like last year up to. I had an inverted bob, but it was really short back here.
Yeah.
But I've been taking these vitamins. They're just biotin with keratin.
Okay.
But it's 10,000 units a day. But it's absolutely been great.
What if I should start taking it?
Well, and I haven't been pinning a lot of wigs on either. Too.
Oh,
so
okay.
that'll break your hair. That can break your hair down because
right.
once you take that bobby pin and twist it.
Put a lot of stress on those hair follicles and stuff.
I've had alopecia red before, just in spots where I've pinned things on before.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I'm excited. Got some hair, and I've been on a not a cleanse, but my second week. Been taking time to focus on exactly what I put in my mouth, and just what it's going to do to my body. Because we've been talking in previous episodes about, be mindful of how your body is really holding up for you.
Right.
Because, look.
This is your face,
yes.
This is your temple, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I just feel better.
Yeah.
My skin feels better. It's just all around good.
Yeah, and I almost think of our atmosphere, our environment as almost like amniotic fluid. I mean, if you think about the people you surround yourself with, the foods that you eat, the things you breathe in, the things you drink, the things you think, you're just like living in that.
Right.
All day long. It has a direct effect.
It does, and I believe that anything that can go and stay in your mind, your brain, I believe it affects your entire body.
And I want to say, I so enjoy your posts that you do. That's just, it gives me such life.
Thank you. I found that one I posted, I think yesterday, day before, about if you're losing everything, remember the tall tree sleeps or leaves.
Yes, I love that.
Yes, I thought that was great.
That.
Then last night was fear will, a doubt will kill more of your dreams than fear ever will. Yeah, so.
I love that. That's amazing.
It's just good to know that you can, just the words you utter off your tongue can.
That's such an amazing effect, because we're so surrounded by so many. And if you actually statistically look at it, we're in the safest time of known recorded history, and yet you wouldn't know it by watching the news.
No, you wouldn't.
You would not know it. We're actually in the most what was the word I'm thinking? Abundant time we've ever been in.
Okay.
More people are living abundantly. Less people are living in poverty. Well, I mean, when I say poverty, I'm talking about less people are hungry every night. Less people are doing without, and yet that's all you hear about. Which, of course, you want to hear about it, so you can help those people. But it gets to where if that's all you hear about, that's all you think is out there, right?
Right. I've heard so much about a California guy started building these little 800 square feet rooms for the homeless veterans, and all that's great. I think it's. But I always feel like Alabama is so last to do everything.
Absolutely.
So I wish somebody would step up and do that for us here.
Yeah, well, maybe we're the ones that are supposed to.
Well, we have a calling.
Somebody has to step up, right? Of course,
that's
only
right.
we can do.
That's
hey,
right.
or maybe we're calling anybody out there to go do their thing too, right?
I have posted on Facebook if anybody had any questions for us, either today or the next time or just whenever, that we're open books.
Did you get anything?
I just posted it.
Okay.
So I'm waiting. It'll be some requests.
Well, one for sure.
Oh yeah. And nothing's off limits really,
Yeah.
unless it's just,
I'm an open book. Go for it.
Me too.
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm actually kind of excited when I get embarrassed. I'm like, that can still happen.
Yeah. And it can. And it's not
It doesn't happen very often, but
but it can, right? Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the holidays?
I've got the tree up. So basically, I've been kind of moving in sort of more of like a Buddhist sort of thing. And last year I didn't decorate at all. But this year my daughter's had kind of a rough year. She gave me a text about, I guess it was about 4 weeks ago, and she said, I need that crazy Santa elf dad this year. And so I was like, are you ready? And I even told my fiance, I was like, are you ready? Because it's like when it came out. It's not like a partial door.
Right.
It's like a whoosh.
You don't just crack the door open.
Right. So yeah, I've got the outside decorated, got the tree up, I've done the shopping, and I'm sort of pulling back a little bit. I plan on doing a lot more, but with work and stuff like that, I want to be mindful of that as well. I'm trying to be very zen about it. Yeah, zen about it at the same time. What about you? Are you ready?
I am ready. I've had all my shopping done for a few weeks now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm usually the one that Christmas
Last
Eve
out
shopping. Yeah, you can tell me that Amazon Prime was my best friend last year because you can get that in a couple of days.
I'm a big eBayer.
Are you? Well, I have started shopping on eBay. I want to start selling things. I've got a lot of stuff I like to sell, and I think that'd be a good thing later on. But yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, I think the holidays are one thing that's a really important topic for the LGBTQ community because we don't necessarily celebrate things with our biological family, do we?
No. Most people, a lot of people, I won't say most, but a lot of people that I know personally, they have a chosen family.
Oh, I love the name of that.
And I think that's goosebumps.
Uh-huh.
But I think that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. As long as you're comfortable and you feel loved. Christmas is a really hard time of the year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to surround yourself with people.
Yeah, because it's not about obligations, it's about celebration.
Right, and it's not about giving gifts or getting gifts, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to show a token of your love to someone. But we exchanged names this year in our house, so there wasn't a lot of things we had to go and do. Of course, you always buy your mom. I bought my mom something, and my sister and brother-in-law. But other than that, we just draw names in the big family. There's like 17 of us. So.
Yeah, and it's not so much about how much you spend and all that kind of stuff. It's on making it kind of special, right? Yeah,
and the kids are just so hooked on having the latest technology, the latest phone. I mean, my nieces and nephews are very blessed, and they have the latest of everything.
Right.
But it's so hectic when they come to a place where it's not the go-to thing. We have a conversation. We have time to eat dinner together, and these kids are always
faces in there.
Oh yeah, with headphones, and they're not even listening to you.
Right.
So it becomes difficult for that. But I mean, hey.
I mean, you even see that when you go to the club, you'll see people surrounded by people, and they're sitting there probably on Grindr. Let's just
right.
You got, and there's probably somebody else in there in Grindr talking to them, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it.
It's a good way to I guess, for people to figure out who's looking.
Yeah, yeah.
I had speaking of Grindr, last year I just did a little account on there just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. I had to close that account though.
Did you really?
It got too clustered with people that's wanting things that I wasn't willing to.
Right.
I mean, it was hard. I mean, and then I had people that went to church at Spirit of the Cross, and they were always, hey, we missed you at church. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that on Grindr.
Yeah, right.
Not for real. But,
right.
So it was kind of interesting. But, Grindr's a new thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not so new, but it is a great tool for some people.
Right.
And to each his own.
Right.
Hey.
That's how
if you're smiling while you're tapping those numbers, those letters.
I mean, it wasn't how my fiance and I met, but it was how we kept in contact before we became, before we decided to really, see each other. It was how we kept in contact, or how we continued our contact.
How did y'all meet?
We met at a gentleman's party.
Okay. Y'all heard it. Okay.
As you will.
Okay, I understand.
And my first words to him were not that gentlemanly. Basically asking him if he would like to participate in a certain act together.
Of course he did. Of course he did. And he was hooked, wasn't he?
We're still together.
Good deal. That's awesome. And you are planning to get married in April, correct?
We're actually probably going to postpone that for right now.
Okay.
You were going to be the MC there, which I'm very proud. But there's just some things going on. We think it's best to. It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen.
Go ahead and
but I mean, part of it probably was that we didn't realize it was going to be Easter Sunday when we made the reservations.
That is so true.
And when we found out, I was like, well, I guess Jesus is dying for my gay wedding, you know. He rose
on that day.
He rose on that day, so, anyway. So, yeah. But, and I'm very thankful. I guess there is a fear to me, too, with the current administration, is that, if we do postpone it, are we still going to be able to at a later date? Because the Supreme Court's changing, a lot of things are, so, I mean, it's by the grace of God that we have the opportunity.
Right.
And will we always have that opportunity? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, some days I think we're just as going backwards as we were.
Right. Because it was a shock. To me, it was a shock when we got it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And I mean, I almost think like the LGBTQ community kind of went, whoa.
Right.
Now what do we do? Mm-hmm. I mean, I even had people that would say to me, why are we still having Pride? Now we know why we're having Pride again, but at that time it was almost like everything was just like opening out like whoosh.
Right.
It was almost like it felt like we were moving to this new era of complete embracing of everybody. Sure. And now we see that it's sort of like swamping back around again. And,
it's almost like dangling in your face. It's kind of see what
see what rights feel like?
Yeah.
Just
right. It's LOL. But it's just crazy times. But we have just to live for the positive side of it.
Right.
And just hold on to what we've been holding on to.
Mm-hmm.
We're better in numbers.
That's true. I like that.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the end of the year too.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do at the end of the year? Do you come up with resolutions and stuff, or goals?
I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
I did for, I guess half of my life.
Mm.
And it was just always the biggest letdown.
Mm.
I mean, you can't set goals that you're going to be Pamela Anderson by January the 1st.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, it's realistically, that's years and years, But it was always the diet thing for me.
Mm.
Strange enough, but this year I haven't done, last year I didn't, because last year I was in a whirlwind of coming out of that relationship, and it was a dark, dark space,
right.
And I just, my sister was decorated for Christmas, but all I seen was the darkness of it.
Mm.
You couldn't have lit up my area if you had a spotlight on me.
Right.
So I didn't think about January the 1st or the end of the year.
Yeah.
I did think about it this year, though. I've been concentrating on that because I just want to be. I know it sounds cliche, but I want to be better at being myself.
Mm.
I want to be. I feel authentic more than I have in years, but I still need a little bit more of a push. I need to trust myself.
Well, you're never static, right?
No,
right. You're trying to discover more about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I'm trying to open as many doors as I can instead of scared to go through them. That's that doubt will kill more dreams than fear ever has.
Absolutely.
So I just want to be a better person, and I want to serve in my space and do the things I'm supposed to do. I'm a gift. I'm a gift.
You are.
I am just.
You are such a gift.
I'm
so glad you know that now.
I was always afraid to recognize that because I thought people would say, "Oh, please, she's always so kind," and she think, the people that sometimes people don't like you because your spirit can infect their demons. Exactly. So I don't even pay attention to that.
And you can't, because and it's so funny, because like I have some courses on Udemy, and we're so our brain is wired to find things that are harmful to us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you read 10 responses to yourself and one's negative and 9 are positive, you're always going to focus on the negative one,
Mm-hmm.
because you're looking for that threat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
about retraining yourself to be like, there's always going to be that one.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Indeed, exactly. And that's like, if I think Lady Gaga said that there could be 100 people in a room, but only 99 don't believe me, but there's one that does.
Yeah.
And that's how you should focus on things. And it is training. It's training your mind, training your reaction and your action and everything that makes up you.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep thinking about when you said that your brain was like a receptor, and your body has all these little messages, and she's happy. I've been saying it out loud that today I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you just do that, say, I'm happy.
Right.
I'm not in pain today. I'm happy.
Right.
There is no pain. I just find that it is effective.
Yeah, and it's not the pain, it's the suffering of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The suffering, it comes from the judgment, or the equating yourself with it, or the blaming it on something that you are, or something that somebody's done to you, because what that does is it takes you out of that space of being in control.
Gotcha.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you blame it on something else, how do you control that?
Exactly.
So you are just simply this victim to whatever it is. You move into victimhood, and then you're just stuck. You know what I mean? And that's why you'll ask people, why are you depressed? And they'll start talking about something that happened 10 years ago. And you're like, honey. And I'm talking to myself when I say this.
I understand.
I'm talking, it's not like I'm some higher being. I'm talking to myself when I say this. Honey, that was 10, 15, 20 years ago. You let that stuff go.
And you're still drinking the poison.
Absolutely, still doing
and
it.
expecting everybody else to die from it.
Yeah, and you were talking about the idea of fear and stuff like that. If anybody ever asks me, like, what to you is like sin or evil or anything like that, to me it's anything that dims our expression of the divine. It's anything that holds us back from expressing the divine. That's all to me sin is.
Yes.
Sin is simply you holding yourself back in some way from just being that divine light. And that's what fear does,
Yes, and it's so negative.
Yeah, but fear can also be very powerful, because when you go through it, then you've championed it.
Yeah,
right?
once you can, it's hindsight's 20/20, and it's like, looking back, there was a time I felt like that I wouldn't even wake up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It was that.
Or wishing you wouldn't.
I prayed since I was 16 to die.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of letting my ex know that. And I guess he thought he was going to help me out a little bit, But I said, since 16, I've been praying to die. Because I was tired of living in this, I don't know, it was like if this was a pool, and I was in this pool, drowning by everything that ever happened on a daily basis. Whether it be a year or two, whether it be 5 minutes or 20 minutes. It just sucked me like a vacuum cleaner.
And that's what I was talking about, being that amniotic fluid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it weights you down.
Yeah, because the baby is actually drinking in that. I mean, if you think about being in the amniotic fluid, the baby's drinking it in and breathing it in.
So true.
You know what I mean? Just completely surrounded in it, right?
Wow. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it now. I see it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. It's sort of like the space you create around yourself. It's the mold you create. Right?
Yes. Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I was going to say, when we're talking about fear before, moving through like, I always see it as like a doorway of flames that you walk through. The reason I think of that is because it burns off part of you. And there is a mourning process, even when you're achieving something, because you're always becoming something new, and you're leaving something behind, even if it's something icky.
It's transition.
Yeah, it is, but it's still part of your ego. Like, you still labeled yourself that way when you let go of that label.
Yes.
When you let go of that label, you know what I mean? You're having to let it go. You're mourning it. You're losing it, right? Yeah, ego is edging God out, right?
Oh yes, pushing him away.
Yeah,
it's all about me. It's all about me.
Right?
It's true because now, like I said last week on our episode, or the one I think it was last week, because it was like if I keep edging out my ego, I kept waiting for somebody to approve me. Like, I never got it. So, oh, you're going to tell me you like me, but I'm not going to tell you that. You're going to have to feel my energy. And it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really need anyone's approval.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, it's good to get compliments, but...
And people are really dealing with their own crap, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
How can we really expect them to, be there as that champion for us that really helps us to move out of that ego space at the same time?
And you have to be careful who you loan your information to.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the biggest lessons I learned last
Does it
year.
give them a key?
Yeah, I mean, and it gives them that ingredient for especially being in a narcissistic relationship. That gave them fuel to be ruler over me because they knew my weakness. I mean, hey, I can actually look back and laugh at some things that was done now. And not laughing like humor, but laugh like, you thought you had me.
Right.
But I feel like I'm all over the place. But it's just, I can't tell anybody enough how good it feels to be out of this pool. And I'm the lifeguard now.
Oh,
I'm the lifeguard now.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm saving people.
You are Pamela Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell? But yeah, that's how I feel. And that's the role that I feel the Mother of Huntsville is. I can't save everybody. But if I can do one thing, then encourage them to save themselves.
Right.
And we've done the job.
So we met your newest daughter, or I don't know if it's the newest daughter. One of your daughters.
My only daughter now.
Your only daughter.
Yeah.
Are you planning on having any other children?
I'm getting so old.
Oh, my word.
Thank God they come out 22 and 24. It's the toddler age. I can't deal with it. But I don't know. Before I've had 4 or 5 children at one time. I've had so many that became a house.
Right.
And I'm spread thin. Because I'm still looking for that approval.
So what all does being a mother? Is that a term of the mother of a house or whatever? Or what all does that entail?
For me, it's about having integrity. Supporting that person that's under your wing. It's not a financial. It's emotional. And it's the well-being
Which
of...
is much more expensive.
Yes, it is. It is. And just being able to show them the ropes and the business aspect of it. There's do's and don'ts, And if you're going to be a child of mine, you can't be one of those people on Facebook fighting. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
We can talk about it off Facebook. We're not doing it on Facebook. I don't think it's right for people with their dirty laundry. Sometimes, and people do it.
Right.
I see it every day.
Right.
And I'm thinking,
really?
Yes. We know we're not going to get back together. I don't know why we're just, and it's bad for when you do get back together because people don't take you as serious.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just a repetitive thing.
Right.
So I'm like,
and every relationship has its cycles.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've known for the relationships for me that actually are worth lasting, they've become stronger through the struggles or after the struggles.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It becomes more important. It's kind of like getting back to sort of like the idea of Christmas, and you were talking about the difference between emotional and financial investment in something. You see that a lot with today's parents, and it sort of happened a little bit with my parents, where they were willing to spend money on me, but they weren't really willing to give me any space or any time or anything like that. And that's much more of a luxury item. And I think that's why kids nowadays, a lot of them are craving the thing, the object, whatever
Still looking
it is.
for it.
They're still looking for it because they really, in their heart, they're really craving that emotional attachment.
Exactly.
They're craving that time, that energy, right?
And it's very simple to feel love in material things. I mean, we're all human.
But it breaks.
It does.
It runs down.
Hey, the warranty ran out. I can't get it fixed.
Yeah,
So I'm not worry about that. It's like my relationship. Say it's a good analogy. My relationships were because I was looking for approval. Well, it's those same things. If you get an iPad this year, well, next year it may not even be around for you to play on or do your thing, or there's a new one out.
Newest version.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I do agree with you. It's the emotional, the love that a lot of people in our community is suffering from.
Yeah, because like it or hate it, we are emotional, loving beings. That's what we are. That we're built on needing that and giving it and supporting it, and that's just.
And unfortunately,
deal with it.
yeah, I mean, just embrace it. You know, I mean, trust me. I told someone today that's going to be a future guest on here. She's not ready to talk, and that's okay. I told her to be okay with herself before she comes forward and talks about it with everybody else. Because I mean, and although I told her that sometimes talking to people that don't really know you kind of can heal some wounds instead of just putting a Band-Aid over them. So I told her just let me know when she's ready.
Because it's going through that fear. You know, because the reason you don't want to come forward and say something is you think somebody's going to judge you. But when you find out, it's a space of love and acceptance. And just to put this out there, if anybody did want to get interviewed, you don't want to be on camera, we can call you on the phone.
Oh gosh, yeah, we can do a call-in thing.
Yeah, we'll even mask your voice.
I'll do the voiceover for you.
Yeah, or transcript it. We'll read it off. You know what I mean?
And if there's no idea that we're not willing to challenge and talk about, you know,
adventures.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And speaking of adventures, Dina Cass yesterday, she's an entertainer and she lives in Florida now. She auditioned for America's Got Talent, and she was posting her stuff on Facebook as she was going. She made it all the way through in the rounds to get, and they interviewed her. The producers got with her. They did all the commercials with her, and she just it's about stepping into that phase of life that you're willing to take a chance. And it's not about not getting it, it's about taking that chance to get it. So anyway, I just want to put that out there. Y'all keep her in mind because she's funny, she's a comedian.
Is it the next one?
She could be, yeah, because I can even see her being back on that. If she doesn't make it, I can see them using her in whatever promos and everything.
Or the host or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, she was in a beautiful gown that was nude, but then it had these little pieces of sequins that like a tiger print. But then she had these feathers that strung down on these long chains of rhinestones. Yeah, and she's there. And she has been one of those people that I follow for years and only met her once.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I think she's an incredible individual.
That gown makes me almost think of something like a spirit animal. I wonder what kind of animal she would kind of associate with. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting turn here.
What turn have we got?
Well, I'm wanting to know more about what spirit animal is. I mean, like, is it the person, is it the animal inside you that roars or
Well, so, spirit animals can kind of change. They're different animals that really are associated with different, like, times of life, with different ways of expressing, whether it's you're being adventurous or with wisdom or something like that. For me personally, it's very funny. I went on a shamanic journey, which for me was a drumming ceremony, where I had this guy that he did drumming, and he kind of took you through, you went through some gates and some levels down to a space that opened up, and then your spirit animal came out. Funnily for me, I thought it was kind of hilarious afterwards. So none of this is planned. It just was kind of like led. So most people that go into a cave and then come out into a meadow, that kind of thing, my entry was Bloomingdale's. Not even kidding.
Oh, wow.
And so I went into this field, and my spirit animal was a literally gold horse named Pegasus.
Oh,
Whether
wow.
that is the Pegasus or not, I don't know.
Right.
But that was who came to me. Like, your spirit animal will come to you. So
you visually see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like while I was in sort of like this meditation.
Okay, I
it's not like, it doesn't have anything to do with mushrooms or
it's another level.
Yeah, it's just another level, and you can reach it by all kinds of different ways. And so, like, for a horse, for instance, represents strength, freedom, that type of thing. The other thing about a horse, though, it's also like it's a pack animal. It's also one that it's one that's attacked. It's not a predator, but it's the other side. It's an animal that is predated against. So I mean, there's all kinds of parts to that, but most of the horse when we see it is about freedom and about strength, about grace. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. So for me, that was my experience.
So for someone watching, how do they go about finding their spirit animal?
Well, there's an amazing book I have. I can't remember the name of it. I'm actually planning on down the road going to do a Udemy course on it or not. I mean, if anybody has any questions about it, please let me know. I'll be more than willing to. It's a very individual thing.
Okay.
You know, I mean, very much with you individually and where you are in life, and it's hard to say, this is yours. And,
right. Do you think your spirit animal can change?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking. Because I'm thinking maybe in my past I was something just a little different than I am now. I feel like I'd be a lion or something.
Yeah.
I feel that because of the hair and the personality.
Right.
And not necessarily the roar, but the...
Now, would you be a lion or a lioness? Because there's a little bit of a misconception between lions and lionesses.
You're talking male, female?
Not necessarily that, but their roles. We think of the lions, but usually it's the lioness that does most of the hunting and most of the attack. I mean, the lions pretty much lay around all day long. That's what.
Well, I'm thinking I'm the lion.
Okay.
Because I can see that. I can just almost be in that same perch,
And like BITCH, go to work, right? Yeah, that's what about that.
Yeah, throw me to the wolf. I'll come back in the past. I think. I mean, I may be completely wrong, but if I had a guess, I would think, or maybe I'm wanting it to be that. I don't know.
I just wanted to ask the question because there is kind of this misconception.
Yeah,
too, so.
a good point. Because if you don't know anything about your spirit, you know how to even come about it, or some people may not even ever heard it.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it many times all my life, but I've just never dove in to find, that.
Who your spirit animal is.
Yeah.
Well, we may have to go there on a show sometime.
Yeah, I would love
interesting little adventures.
Yeah. Now,
because I'm way out there.
Aren't you magical? Remember?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he's magical. And I told my mom, I call him Magical Pete because he's just got that air about you. That you're just touch it and ding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel that from you. And I know that
you're very in tune.
I am more now. I think I've always been in tune. As a matter of fact,
that's what drew us to each other. And why I kept badgering you for years.
I remember,
what are we doing?
And I'm glad that you did.
I couldn't help but.
I know, and then I put it off for a few years.
Right.
It doesn't,
which was perfect.
It doesn't seem like it was a few years
right?
ago.
And I feel like it was picked up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Is the partner still going on?
Sometimes see, as a smoke clear. But I think that you need to. Yeah, but I was getting my. I went with my friend to a psychic reading.
Did you?
Yeah, and this was about probably 15, 16 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me to leave the room. She said, I can't read his auras and his energies with you in here because you already know. You just don't know you know. Mm-hmm. So you're interfering.
Right.
So, and then she come in, we didn't go in the same room that they were. Mm-hmm. We went into a different little room and she told me that I would encounter a big, huge challenge and drugs would be involved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and people that thought they had my well-being and interest, she called it out. She said, you already know. Because you know the friends you have, you know what they're about. And I was denial. I was like,
right.
But I mean, looking back, I can see that. I was like, I just feel that. And I think I'm psychic in dreams. I don't know how to tune into it yet.
Well, so number one, it's recognizing it.
Okay.
And seeing it as real. The number two is kind of like what you're even really talking about in that it's recognizing the patterns. So for, whether, I don't necessarily call myself psychic. The reason I don't like the word too much for me is because to me, if you say you're psychic and you say something's going to be in the future, it's very set in stone.
Oh, yeah.
To me, everything can be changed in the moment. Like I can sometimes talk about what is most likely to happen based upon where you are right now, but you can change yourself in the next 10 seconds and it can completely change, right? So different signs for things can mean different things to different people. And it's about you learning your own particular. So if you felt or thought about, if you met somebody and you instantly thought of toast, you know what I mean, and you started associating what does toast mean to me, or whatever. I mean, the reason I say this is because it came up in a reading one time, which just kind of floored me. And I told the woman, they were like kept saying, "Tell her toast." I was like, "Toast." And she was like, "Oh my god!" You know, it was like, oh, it had some association with her mom.
Oh, wow.
Like, that was how she connected with her mom. Was her mom would serve her toast on those cold, you know. So what I'm saying to you is, it's learning those patterns and it's learning those symbols, and you'll get that by, oh, this reminds me of that.
1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine, 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show to